Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my Premier League predictions. If you are new around here though and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like video if you do need like video, and let's get straight into it. So starting off, I'm going to start off in the 20th position, but last place as I always start, and I'm going to go with Bournemouth. It seems like most people are going with Bournemouth to finish last, as I mean they got promoted in second, but it was still close, and they were kind of declining a bit at the end of last season, and they haven't really improved their squad massively. So I do think 20th position is about fair for them, as I can't see them finishing much higher, and they'll probably be becoming a yo-yo club from the Championship to the Premier League, like a Norwich and a Fulham and a West Brom. Moving on to 19th position, I've gone with another team which you can class as a yo-yo club in Fulham. Yet again, same kind of thing as Bournemouth, even though they were a lot more consistent last season and did do very well in the league. I don't know if Mitrovic will be able to hack it in the Premier League again, and they've only really bought Mbabu, who is a good signing, but that's really it. Unlike the last time they were in the Premier League, where they did buy quite a few players, obviously it didn't work out then, and I don't think it's going to work out now, and I think 19th place is about fair for them. Moving on to my 18th position, I've gone with a bit of a bold shout. I've gone with Everton. Obviously, Frank Lampard is a good manager, but he's not an amazing manager. They've lost Richarlison, who is arguably their best player. They have bought in some alright players in Tarkowski and Dwight McNeil, but neither of them I don't think are going to be able to do enough to keep them up, and I think they're just not looking good enough at the moment, and I believe that they will go down just about. I think it'll be very close. Moving on to my 17th position now, so a team just missing out on relegation, I've gone with Nottingham Forest. They've made a lot of good signings, and obviously it might take time for them to gel and actually start working as a team well together, but still they've brought in some great players, and I think they'll have the first season bounce, which most clubs normally have. Obviously I still think it'll be tight, but I do think they will just stay up. Moving on to my 16th position now, I've gone with Leeds. I think it will be yet again another not great season for Leeds. They haven't really bought many great players, and they've not really seemed to do much, to be honest, so I think 16th is about fair for them. Moving to my 15th position now, I've gone with a team which a lot of people have been saying that will get relegated, and that's Southampton. I don't see them getting relegated just because I think Hasenhüttl is a good manager, and they've still got a relatively good squad with the likes of James Ward-Prowse. Obviously they have lost Brozier, who was a good goal scorer for them last season, as he was only on loan I believe. But yeah, I think Southampton will just about stay up. Well, just about. I'd say 15th, just about really. But I think it will all just be quite tight this season. Moving on to my 14th position, I've gone with Brentford. Yet again, they haven't strengthened loads. They've still got a good squad though, and a good manager in Frank. I think it's Tom Frank. I don't know his first name. But they've still kept their good players, which is what is important for them. They've still got their Rayos, I believe, and the Tonys and the De Silvas and the Buemos. I believe they've kept all of them, and I think another good season for them, and I don't think they'll go down off the second season syndrome, which just end up happening to a lot of clubs. Moving on to my 13th position now, I've gone with Aston Villa. I think it'll be another season which isn't amazing for them, but it's outside of a relegation battle really, and I think that's just because yet again they haven't bought loads of players. They bought the Coutinhos, but that's about it really. They have got a relatively strong squad though, and I think Steven Gerrard will do enough to keep out of a relegation battle, and it'll be more of a mid-table battle. But I think 13th is where they will finish. Moving on to my 12th position now, I've gone with Wolves. I don't think that they're going to be pushing the heights of what they normally do, because I mean, Raul Jimenez wasn't great last season, as obviously he's coming back from his big injury, and they haven't strengthened loads either. I'm not saying they necessarily have to, but I'm just saying that I don't see them competing up there with the likes of some of the other teams this season, as I do think there's a couple other teams which have got a better squad than them at the moment. Moving on to my 11th position now, I've gone with Leicester. I believe Leicester are still a very good squad, but unless they actually do start bringing in like the likes of a new striker, because I don't think Patson Daka is a good enough lone striker, or Iheanacho, So I do think they're going to have to bring in an actual proven striker. And obviously they haven't got the worst team, but they haven't got the best team, and I don't see them reaching the heights of what they have once reached. And I think 11th place is where they're about to settle. Moving on to my 10th position now, I've gone with Crystal Palace. People have been saying they will get lower. I trust Vieira. I think he is a good manager. Obviously, they haven't strengthened loads either, and they are losing Conor Gallagher, so that might put something on them. But I still think they've got a good squad, and I do believe that they'll be able to finish bang on mid-table. Moving on to my 9th position now, I've gone with Brighton. Yet again, I believe they'll have another good season with Graham Potter being a defensively strong manager, and I believe they'll concede a little amount of goals. And obviously, if they can fix their striker problem, which they haven't really seemed to do, but I still think they'll finish in a very good position for them, being 9th. Moving on to my 8th position now, I've gone with a team which were definitely climbing a lot last season, being Newcastle. So obviously, they've got the whole big money takeover. They haven't signed loads of players this season, this transfer window so far. But I do think 8th place is fair for them, just on the fact of they've still got a good squad, and just how much they were climbing up the table last season. And Eddie Howe is a very good manager, and now he's had a half season to properly be with the players, and he's now going in this season with the team that he wants. So yeah, I believe 8th position will be well for them, will be where they'll finish, and it'll be interesting to see even the next couple of seasons if they do start climbing higher and higher. Moving on to my 7th position now, I've gone with Manchester United. Obviously a bit of a bold shout to say that they only get Europa Conference League, but they haven't strengthened in loads of positions. Obviously they've got a new manager in Ten Hag, but the situations with the likes of Ronaldo isn't great, as it probably isn't boosting any squad morale at all, and I don't think he's going to be coming in with the greatest of mindsets into the new season. And they lost Pogba as well, which is still a big loss for them, even if he isn't seen as like a great player anymore. It's still a big loss for them, and I don't see them being able to get into these high European positions or low Champions League positions at this moment in time. Obviously, if they bring in some good players, I could see them getting a bit higher, but just for the moment, I'm going to say 7th. Moving on to my 6th position now, I've gone with Arsenal. Obviously, they have brought in the likes of a Gabriel Jesus this season, and he does look good. He looked good in the pre-season, and they brought in Zinchenko, which I don't think he'll do great. But I think 6 is about fair for them, because they normally do start off relatively well and then drop off a little bit. But I think 6th is fair. I mean, getting Europa League is kind of what they're expecting nowadays. Moving on to my 5th position, I've gone with a bit of a higher choice, being West Ham. So, I mean, a bit of a bold shot. I think West Ham, obviously, they haven't done loads of business either, but they've kept the bulk of their squad, and their squad's still looking good. So, I believe David Moyes has just had another summer to just kind of gel with the players and make sure everything's alright with them. And I believe this season they'll be able to go in and properly kick off and make 5th, which is amazing for them, really, and just proving that they are up there at the moment, especially with the squad that they do have. Moving on to my 4th position now, I've gone with Chelsea. Chelsea, I've chosen to go 4th, just on the fact of they haven't really got a properly proven striker. I know that wasn't really a problem for the likes of Manchester City, but I believe Manchester City have got a better midfield than what Chelsea have got. I mean, they've lost Lukaku, and they've got Timo Werner and Havertz, but I don't think they're 2 proven goal scorers enough. So I've gone with 4th. Obviously, they brought in a good defender in Koulibaly. So I believe their defence will be definitely shored up, which is the main thing which I think will carry them this season. Moving on to my 3rd position now, I've gone with Spurs. Spurs have brought in some great players. They probably had the best transfer window in the whole of the Premier League. And so, like I was saying in my Premier League Golden Boot prediction, Kane's going to have a lot of options balls coming in the box from lots of different players. The likes of a Perisic and a Bissouma and a Son, of course, going to be able to pick them passes out and hopefully do impress. And Kulusevski, who they've also kept. So I think 3rd is where Spurs will finish, a high finish for them. So yeah, again, Champions League again. Moving on to my second position now, I've gone with Liverpool. Obviously, it's boring to say Liverpool, and I mean, you can guess who I put first in these positions, but I don't see any change really happening at the top of the table at the moment, as no other club I can really see getting up with them at the moment. Liverpool bought in Darwin Núñez, have sold Mane, but I think Darwin Núñez is a good replacement. Obviously, a bit on the pricey side, but still a good replacement. And their attack does look very impressive now. And of course, the defence looks very impressive. It's the midfield, which I'm questioning a little bit, but I mean, it was no problem for them last season, so I don't see them having a problem this season with it. So I think it'll be another relatively close title battle, but I think Liverpool will finish second in the end. So that means first place, I'm going with Manchester City. Manchester City have bought in Haaland, who did score on his debut and did look, I mean, relatively impressive versus Liverpool. Obviously, he did not score, but still looked relatively impressive at times. And I think when he gets settled in, he will do really well. Obviously, they bought in that new backup striker. I can't quite remember the name, but he's a proven goal scorer. Obviously, not in the Prem, but still a goal scorer nonetheless. And I mean, Man City have proven they don't even need a goal scorer to do well in the Premier League. They don't even need a striker. So if things go wrong, they can just not play a striker and then it'll be fine. But yeah, that is my Premier League prediction. Hopefully, I've not annoyed too many people, as I always say. Leave your predictions in the comments below if you would like. And if you have any problems with me and my prediction, put it in the comments below. But yeah, if you are new around here though and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like the video, and thanks for watching.